Welcome to episode 2 of Abiotic Factor. In this episode, hopefully we all head towards the manufacturing sector to hopefully find some way to get out of this facility. Now, heading away from Warren here, who told us that the facility was under a bit of a lockdown or something, I quickly sorted my inventory and headed out towards the facility. Now, heading towards the quest marker dot, I took a bit of a detour into this room on the side, and after dealing with a pest that was guarding the door, I guess, I rummaged through the filing cabinets and also found a little message from Dr. Mans here.
Dr. Derek Mance reporting. Research Director, Gate Cascade Research Facility. Originating in Antiverse 2, IS-171 is a stationary, sessile entity that traps its food with a retractable tentacle. The experience of being caught is rather like being attacked by an angry pizza. It presents no real threat, but leaves an enduring, not entirely unpleasant smell on anything it touches. Suggestions for possible applications include perfume, industrial scents, and olfactory-based crowd control weapons.
With that information about IS-171 from Dr. Mans, which I think is the carbuncle, I did head onwards towards the manufacturing sector. So at the door to the manufacturing sector, Grayson here, who was like all injured and stuff, I had a quick chat to him.
Soldiers came through. They locked down manufacturing. Wanted information about the silos on level 3. They weren't gatekeepers. They were something else. I couldn't tell them anything. But if you can find a power cell, we can use a forklift to open the door. Get out of here through the surface tunnel.
Now with Grayson telling me that to get out I need to get to the surface tunnel, and I need a power cell to use the forklift to open the door since the doors are broken, I need to figure out where these power cells are. So yeah, that's my next goal, to find someone that knows about power cells. Now with my inventory full from looting along the ways, I guess, I decide to head back towards Warren, as that seems like a nice spot to set up base for now. Now here, I grabbed my crafting table that I built before and placed it down near a nearby power outlet. Giving that a quick screw and connecting it to power, I did make myself a little crate here and placed it down to store my absolutely overflowing inventory. Now with my inventory nice and empty, I headed onwards to go find someone that knows about the power cells. Now, finding myself getting some more deja vu from Black Mesa, I did find this guy, Gaz, who was hiding inside a janitor's closet.
I thought they were coming to help, but they weren't gatekeepers. They started shooting. I wasn't trained for this. I'm just a receptionist.
Now, Gaz did say that people came and shot some stuff, so I do need to get geared nice and quickly. But luckily, next to Gaz, there was a cool backpack, so that did give me a bunch of more inventory slots. Now on this computer, there was something about some makeshift crossbows, some bad robots, and that the anvils are on level 3. Now nearby there's also a map to level 2, so I grabbed that, and here we are, right at the reception area. Now, needing to get some more loot, I headed into this bio lab here, which did have a few peccaries, but also a good amount of loot. Now, finding this peccary, my wooden chair leg did break, and it did absolutely no damage, so this peccary here was really annoying. So after smacking this peccary with my broken table leg for eternity, I finally got rid of him and started looting this area. Now, getting a new table leg so I actually deal damage, I did find another Dr. Mans recording, so here it is.
Dr. Derek Mance reporting. Research Director. We now believe IS-171, or the carbuncle, as was calling it, is the larval form of IS-173, and almost certainly 178. Dr. Pendleton speculates there may also be a fourth state we have not yet encountered, and I believe she may be correct. If this is correct, it is an extraordinary shift in our understanding.
Now, Dr. Mance there was just talking about something about the carbuncle evolving, being a baby or something like that. I don't really know. But yeah, I did continue looting this area. Now, taking a shortcut through the pool area to get to my base, as my inventory was absolutely overflowing, I did go back and empty my inventory. After emptying my inventory, I did continue to head onwards so I can find someone that knows about the power cells. Now, looting the pool area, I did find myself at the data farm, and here, it's a little cool thing you can do here, there is a better backpack just behind here. So, jumping almost into the void, you can find yourself in this little room where, guarded by one little pest here, there is a security pack, which is a decent upgrade from my backpack. Now leaving this area, I did decide to head onwards and go explore the facility further. And here, just outside the security sector gate, there was Alice here, who seemed to be in a state of shock or something.
I thought I was there, but I'm still here, am I? I'm here, but she's there?
So while my little conversation with Alice here was going, I did hear the portal hum sound, so figuring out where that is, I guess with this update they did add something in this area here. It looks like a portal, but I can't access it as it's behind the level 1 keycard. So yeah, I guess I gotta come back there once I get the keypad so I can figure out where that portal can take me. Now, heading back to base with my new loot, I could make a spear and a club, which is an upgrade from my chair leg and knife. Now, feeling more confident and with plenty of time, I headed towards the more dangerous part of this sector just so I can get some more loot. Now, dealing with a few carbuncles and a few pests, I ran around some more and found another Dr. Mance recording.
This is Dr. Derek Mance. One of the most interesting aspects of the 173's life cycle is how rapidly it evolves. The high-energy conditions of our universe compared to the torpid energetics of Antiverse 2 appear to accelerate their growth immensely. It's humbling, if not a little frightening, to watch life forms alter so quickly. The explosion of Antiverse flora in reactors was far from an isolated event. It goes to the very nature of life in that realm.
Now, with Dr. Mance telling me about evolution and something about Antiverse 2, I head into a nearby room after kicking down the door. And while looting this room, I did find another Dr. Mance recording.
Dr. Mance reporting. IS-178, the Peccary, as it was so ineptly dubbed by one of my plero co-workers, is more intelligent than it first seemed. In fact, it grows smarter and more capable over the course of its life cycle, before morphing into the later life cycle phase. Dr. Manbaku even managed to teach it a few simple tricks, with only minor burns, I believe.
Now with Dr. Mance talking about the Peccary there, I'm not really sure what it was talking about, but I did find a gaseous nest sitting on the floor next to me. Now this gaseous nest, it's useful to jump up into the roof here, where Dr. Roberts lives.
I knew this would happen. Ever since Ferenkov's team took over Silo 3, you couldn't get a single power cell after that. Now look, they're precious antiverses, totally out of control.
Now this guy, I guess, knows where the power cells are. So yeah, he did say the power cells are in level 3, so that's our next goal. Now jumping into this room full of electrified water, which I do think is, again, something from Black Mesa, I looted this little area, and the computer that was just chilling here did have some information about containment of IS-178. There's a little picture of a peccary, and there's also something about barbecues, which gave me a recipe for some raw peccary sausages. Now doing some epic parkour to get out of this area, I headed back to base to dump my inventory. Now with my inventory dumped, I moved my crafting table near my storage, and after wiring that up to power, I had convenient access to my storage crates. Now, after getting rid of all the little notifications on the crafting bench, I did make myself a little rope out of some cloth so I could quickly get up and down here without going all around to the stairs. Now with this quick travel off the railing and some more daylight left, I headed back towards the data farm so I could loot up with some computer parts. Now in the data farm there was this peccary that somehow made me bleed, and again, twice, somehow made me bleed twice. So after patching myself up with some bandages, I headed onwards to loot up in the data farm. But no, this stupid pest here with one little nit makes me bleed again, so I have to use up another one of my bandages, and my health is now dangerously low. So being on the brink of death, I quickly finished up smacking all these computers, and with the facility almost at power down time, which is 9 PM, I finished smacking this computer and headed all the way back to base.
Have a wonderful and productive evening.
Now back at base and emptying my inventory. Now Dr. Thal, I guess, was still sitting here and
God.
is awfully calm
to
about the
Jaeger?
situation with
He
Jaeger.
didn't deserve that. I mean, not really. I'm
So
going
with
to
him
wait
just
here.
sitting there
It's
for
not
now, it's not
safe.
safe out there apparently. I became awfully tired here, so I did grab this couch here, which luckily did not break. And with some wood and some cloth, I made myself a bed, which was perfect timing for bedtime as the facility's lights turned off. Now with the facility's lights all off and not wanting to get jumped at night time, I did go to bed. And yeah, this seems like a good spot to end this episode, and I will see you in episode 3, where we'll go to Silo 3 to retrieve the power cells.